Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. No, it's not the morning. Good evening, good day, good time zone. Oh, come on in. All that shit. I never know. How are you? How was your weekend? It's Monday. I guess it's Monday. Oh yeah, it's Monday already. Damn. I'm still unsure about the camera lighting situation type thingy. Hope you're good, the Oli or Oli. Welcome on in. It's always morning. That's true. That is true. How are you, Oli? How was the streams? How were the stream? Because you had like more than one. I just spent a bit more time in your stream first. The thing that I need to tell you regarding your streams is sound volume. I don't know if I needed to put everything at like 200% or if it was on your side, but like I had like very low-ish volumes overall, so a bit sad on that. I didn't stay long enough, to be honest. Every time I have a good shower, Scott, every time I noticed that you were live, I was about to go to sleep. Basically. Oh, so you are a no mic person? No, you're a computer mic. Like you are using the mic that is on your Mac, right? That's what you did. That is what you did. I would recommend the thing that I installed, but it doesn't seem to work exactly as expected. So yeah, built in on the laptop. Yes. I mean, that's enough, to be honest, in the beginning, and also in general, the mic on the laptop is good enough-ish. Damn, the fluff. Didn't see that coming. Yeah, no, the mic in itself is pretty good, and yeah, I mean, the mic on... Let me rephrase that a bit. But the mic that you have on these, or these, right, is okay. And then if you have the plugins, the VST plugins that are good enough, you should be able to get rid of the hiss and the room sound to make sure that your sound is fuller-ish. But if you have like an old Yeti mic, it should be enough. Yeah, but with processing, you have a bit of options. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the best, of course, but you have the ability with a bit of processing to be able like to simplify, but like get rid of a lot of annoying sounds. Like for example, let me see. So this is the current mic, this one, with EQ and
Aiden J. Bennett just resubscribed for 7 months. 7-month ting.
7 months thing. Indeed, Aiden, welcome on in. Thanks a lot for the resub for 7 fucking months. That's a long time. That's a long ass time. I appreciate it. Enjoy the emotes. Enjoy the fox. I have a thing that you will probably enjoy next stream, yeah, the message doesn't exactly work as expected. It should, but it doesn't. I don't know if it's a me issue or a me issue. So I guess it's probably a me issue, and I just need to change like a letter or something. Um, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, there might be a thing coming on, Aiden, that would be buy two get one free. Not speaking specifics, but there might be a thing called buy two get one free. We'll see what it's about. But yeah, so going back to the mic thingy, if I get rid of the noise suppression, this is the sound with the noise suppression off. So you have a bit of a bass line that you can potentially hear, that have like the hum of the PC and everything. And then this is the mic without the EQ. So I don't exactly know how different it sounds, to be honest. I haven't checked it out in a long time, but this is like no EQ, no noise suppression. And then if you have the plugins in OBS, specifically because you are streaming from a Mac, right? Like you don't have as many plugins as I do, but a noise suppression like this one, which seems to be struggling a bit, but yeah, it depends. And then the EQ, the thing that you can have on top of things, right? The mic in itself, the mic that I have is okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. But when I put the EQ on top, I think it sounds a bit better. I forgot exactly how. Yeah, I did my regular EQ thingy, right? It's like you cut the 100, you boost a bit of the 300, and then sometimes we boost this one, but that doesn't. It's just bringing back a bit. Oh, there has been an update. Interesting. So yeah, it's just bringing back things. That's just detail. Like you don't really. Yeah, I don't know. Just easy stuff, right? Oh, so you are using. Oli, are you using a PC to stream your Mac, or are you currently using your Mac to stream? I think you are using your Mac to stream, because I've seen the little orange dot on the top right. That means something is recording. So yeah, you're using the Mac. And also you said I also have, which means also. Let me close that so we don't have that shit all over. That's okay. Let's close this. Let me read chat because I'm fucking delayed. That's true. Sorry, Ollie. I'm like late as fuck when you said. I knew if I worried about that, I wouldn't have spun up my first stream, which is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Aiden, you are making progress. That's great. That is great news. 4 assignments, great news. Yeah, so in terms of tools, the Reaper VST plugins for some reason don't pop up on my Mac. I don't know why. I think that's a me issue again on the way that I install them. But the Reaper plugins, the Reaper suite plugins for sound on VST are pretty cool. And also the... I mean, I have one, but that's a fucking expensive one. I mean, no, it's not expensive. It's like, you need to buy it, which is more than free. So it's expensive at that point. But no, I installed this, and it was pretty cool. It is pretty cool, overall. Let me just do that. Make sure that everything is working as expected. Yes. So, yeah, as I said, the Reaper VST suit that you can get there. Oh, absolutely forgot that. I am linking. I'm trying to link it. Is it Serenity? Is it Serenity, Aiden? Which is close to not PHP, but like I think it's in the same. I think it's Serenity. So that's the Reaper plugins, which is, they say they have like a. They say that they work for Mac, but they don't. Not exactly. So that's annoying. But what I'm using is the EQ to just EQ, basically. But with the EQ, you have the ability to do a basic, extremely well working, but basic noise cancelling if you don't have any noise cancelling options. However, there is another thing that I used from the Wave audio thingy. The Waves plugins, and I'm using these ones, like the purple. I mean, I've been using this one, and then I got rid of it. I mean, right now, got rid of it. But yeah, Clarity VX, which is always on sale, so like the price is $40. You get basically RTX voice without having an RTX card. So if that's the case, if your PC is not equipped with an RTX card, this is pretty cool. And it works well. I wouldn't say it's the best thing, but it works pretty well. And the level of noise cancelling and like overall noise cancelling is amazing. So that's another one. I'll link it to you as well. But yeah, this is an interesting thing. Also, everything that is from Wave is pretty cool, but it's just expensive or more expensive. Some of them are VST based, some of them are not. So like OBS needs some types of VST based plugin, if I remember correctly, in order for them to work as well as it could. So if you can't have like a VST base, don't do that. But yeah, so that's the first thingy, and then I'm sure there is like a ton of others in the Wave ecosystem that could help with like doing a ton of stuff right inside of OBS. But the other one is voice effects, which is mainly not that. Mainly an RTX card based thing. And so voice effects is just using NVIDIA Broadcast to, I mean, the SDK of NVIDIA Broadcast to get rid of any annoy, annoying, annoying noises that you have around you. So, like this, the clapping is difficult for these types of things, but I think you have a bit of an echo. Yeah, sometimes you can hear them, but not exactly. And I'm not fakely clapping my hand. I am clapping my hand. So yeah, so it's a pretty cool thing. It's right inside of OBS. If you have an RTX card from NVIDIA, it's a free plugin as well, so that's pretty cool. However, you need to install like a lot of different sub files as the NVIDIA SDK and some other things to make sure that it works. But yeah, overall, it's a great thing. So that's for sound mainly, and then I guess the most important one of the bunch is the EQ. So if you can find like an EQ, whichever it is, the Reaper one is pretty cool. I guess OBS has one, but I think not even sure. Not even sure that OBS Mac has one, but nonetheless, it's basically the same thing. If you can have an EQ to like process the sound that is coming in, you will have the ability to like fix some of the hiss, hums, and overall the sound of your voice through the mics. So, I mean, the best example, right, is let's say you need to hear that. So you see, if I play with the EQ right now, where I boosted the mid, I have like a very muddy sound, which is not exactly what we want to have. However, here it's more clear, but it's still very clear though. So we may drop the thing a tiny bit. I think that's a bit better. Yeah. So just a smidge under 5K. And I'm just using the basic recommendation of EQs. So I don't really know if what I'm doing is the right thing to do or not. It's just what I'm seeing on YouTube. And I guess that sounds a bit better than the previous one, right? So like that's very simple, and you can get a lot of variety of edits of your sounds with just the VST from the Reaper plugins. So just use that in the beginning if you can, and then if you can install them inside of OBS Mac, do that. But if you can't, then use the PC to stream from that if that's an option. I mean, you said that that's an option, but yeah, it sounded underwater indeed. It's like it's cutting all the eyes, so everything that is in the high pitched things, and then yeah. Mr. Whiskey Smooth, welcome on in. So you mean to tell me there was someone that was like this, like speaking very, very close to the mic, right? That's no good. That's no good. I don't even know how I was sounding right there. But how are you? How was your weekend? Aiden, having the ability to take off from coding for 1 weekend doesn't mean you have a work-life balance. But it's a start. It's a start. It's a start. It's not a work-life balance. Also, work-life balance as a whole, that's another entirely other subject, but work-life balance as a whole, as it's presented, most people are telling you that you need to have a cut of work and then go into life mode. But for a lot of people that are heavily inspired and happy with their work, when they do the cut, they are depressed and they turn into something that is not exactly them. So if that's the case, like if the cut that you did was good for you, great. If in the long run you feel like you're not doing anything and you should be or could be or might be doing something better with your time, maybe doing a bit of the thing that you like to do on that time might help. Oh, you quitted your side job on Saturdays. Well, I guess a congratulations to you for quitting your job. That's a scary thing to do, and you did it. So GG for you. Like, it's a scary thing. My brain is like not computing right now. It's like, quitting my job. I don't know. Millie, hi, welcome on in. Yes, 3 followers away. 3 away. Ah, I'm thinking, what's happening? Oh, I am such tired. But thank you for the warm up. That helps with my mood. Yeah, my overall mood today is not that great. So as some of you know from the Discord, Mr. Whiskey Smooth with 100 bits. Thanks a lot. You know it's available for free, right? This one is available with shadow points for free, but thanks a lot. It's one of the VTuber that I'm following on TikTok, but have never seen on Twitch, and they have like this womp thing that is like a recurring thing. I don't exactly know when it started. I think this one is one of the starting point-ish, but not starting point. It's the first one that I saw, so that's the difference. But yeah, as I was about to say, from some of you've seen, I had meeting today that started at 2, so it's currently 7 for me. So it started too long ago, 5 hours ago, and we usually have these meetings that take from 2 to 6. We did a bit less. We ended at 5:30, but still, long ass meeting. And these were not company meetings. They are outside of my company meetings, and it's my building landlord meetings to like the copropriety. I don't exactly know if that exists, or the English word for that. But these meetings are like voting for the thing that we do inside of the building. And mainly, that's what's pissing me off, mainly what's happening is for the past 5 years, we've been all okay with most of the points, and then we have a point of doing some renovation work inside of the building. And our building at the like first floor or 0 has shops, and they are landlords for the building, but they don't use what's inside of the building. They just use the shops as an entity. And so because they are shops, a lot of landlords, all the landlords in that fucking building are behaving like they have a ton of money, which they kind of do, but they don't, but they kind of do. And they want the shops to pay for the renovation of everything that is inside of the building, even though they don't use it. And the shops, the owners, don't want to pay because they don't use the thing that would be renovated, and so they have no interest in that. So it's been 5 years, if not more, that we've been trying to do some renovation inside, and some of the landlords are like, everyone should pay, and some of the other landlords are like, it makes no sense, and then the shops are like, it makes no sense. And so we've been debating, and most of them are screaming at each other for like 3 hours. So I'm tired, as you can probably see. This is the face of tired, my usual face. And then I have other things that's going on that just don't make me as happy as I should be. So yeah. But I'm tired as fuck because of the discussion that we had today that made absolutely no sense. I had the guy that was behind me that was mainly saying things as, but the law is telling you that you need to do that. And that's all he was about or able to say, right? Just like, we need to follow the law. And then when we are telling them that, yes, but in order to follow the law, we need to do a specific thing, you say, yes, but that's not part of the law.
MR Whiskey Smooth just resubscribed for 5 months.
Messages, yes. Welcome back, Mr. Whiskey Smooth. Thanks a lot for the 5th month. I appreciate it. Interesting that the message just popped in now, but I appreciate it nonetheless. 5 months, that's a long time as well. I need to fix that message thingy. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but I don't know why it doesn't work. But I appreciate the sub. 5 months. So what I'm using, as always, what I'm using for subscription, I'm using this variable, and the variable for message is message. So it should, technically speaking, give me your message, but you didn't add a message in your sub or resub thing. So I don't know if it's a me thing or you thing, but before that, Aiden resubbed with a message, and Oli pointed out that it was still telling you %message %, which is not what we want to see. Username, that's the message. Yeah, it should work. it should work. Did I put like a space without? So on StreamerBot on the other side, right? We have the message thingy that is here, which is basically what we have as variable on this side, and it should work, but from time to time I don't know why, but it doesn't work. But I can't just change that. So the bottom text is the same thing. I wish I could replay an alert on StreamerBot. That's not the case. Also, I can't, that's the thing, I can't use a mix of Stream Elements and StreamerBot at the same time for alerts. It's either one or the other, or I do what I do now, visually speaking, or I do what I do now, which is sound is Stream Elements and visual is StreamerBot. That kind of works. It's not exactly good, but it kind of works. But yeah, and so Oli, if you are looking into weird shit like all the fuck stuff that happened on my screen, these are StreamerBot related actions. So if you haven't checked streamer.bot, do that. It's a very easy website name to remember, and yeah, but it's already available. we have another designer, developer that did the same thing, created their kind of bot to control their lights, control their like walk-in messages. So if I walk in, I have an auto shout out after my first message, and then it's like all of these things that Twitch on its own cannot handle, which I think it should, but also I understand why it's not possible. And yeah, they decided to like build their own bot, which makes sense, but also all the things that they created is already available inside of StreamerBot, most of it. And I'm like, nah. Twitch is not meh at everything. I think Twitch is okay for anything that is related to broadcasting on its own. It's okay. It's still giving you like Kurara Bear, no, it's your first message. So none of your messages have been showing up, for sure. The friends feeder is not removed. The friends feeder is just moved, which is different. Like, it's removed from the sidebar because no one really used the join feeder, if I remember correctly. And having friends is still a thing that is available, right? So Mr. Whiskey Smooth, you're good. Yeah, I used it twice, to be honest. I think I've seen Fruitis in a stream, and I said, oh, let me see who's watching. And I think I've seen Skeedwalker sometimes watching someone else, and I joined them, or Khalil, but that's like the extent of my use for this feature, so I do understand why it went away. So Mr. Whiskey Smooth, let me just click on that button and send you to that amazing website. Right, Lapa.ninja. So this, if you are looking for Inspiration for landing page. You are on the right one. This one will give you the ability to look for types, and so in all of these you were talking about having exactly what you said. It's not a subscriber only chat, but your name is popping up as a different person, and I believe, I mean, I don't know why. It shows up on my side. We don't have subscriber only chat enable, for sure. Only if you can see different things than us, please tell me. But yeah, Mr. Whiskey Smooshy said, what would you recommend for portfolio-esque page? It should be portfolio, but more like agency looking. So in here, you have the ability to look for portfolio or agency, right? Because that's the two things that you talked about. But in these, right, portfolio, you will have, if it fucking loads, you will have inspirations and presentation of potential good-looking options that you can take as example. Oh, without the VPN it works. I think that was it. Oh yeah, so every time you have a new IP, I guess Twitch is telling me that it's a new person. I don't know. Interesting. But welcome on in. Welcome on in. Gisty or Hannah. Hannah, welcome on in. How are you? How was your weekend? So all of these for portfolio could be interesting, and then if you're more on the agency side of things, right, look at agency side of things, and then you will see this one, which is pretty cool. The thing that you will see specifically for portfolio and agencies are most likely there is no fucking content and everything is just visual. So yeah, let me read that fucking long message that you sent. Thought on Webflow, I need to have the option to have password locked pages. You can do that on Webflow, because I have done stuff under embargo, NDA, cannot show it publicly. Yes, you can have locked pages on Webflow, if I remember correctly. Our friend Sakay Design, not Webflow.io, I guess. Is it Sakay Dash Design? I don't think. Fuck. It is Sakay Webflow. So they used to, I mean, they're working on a lot of shit right now. They used to have that dual stack thing is so sexy. Sorry. Yeah, they used to have like a very interesting thing for their work, but yeah, it's not this one, which pissed me off. Maybe it was. I don't know. They used to have it. Locked, password lock. Yes. As you can see here, it is. It is. You can do a ton of shit with Webflow. Like all of that weird animation on on mouse positioning and all that. That's an option. Then you have this button that sends you to nothing, and this button that sends you to nothing. That dumbass, okay. If you're here, okay, I'm on to you. Also, you haven't changed your Fiverr account. Right there, you're a fucking orange thingy. But, yeah. Let me read, because Kurara, you said something. Do you do primarily graphic or UI design? I do primarily, on Mondays, officially, I do OBS design, which is all the shit that you see, like all that transitions, moving things around, making sure that we have alerts working, that triggers with stuff. That's usually what we do on Mondays. But other than that, UI design and also UX design is what I do on a daily basis. Syrians? I can't pronounce that. Syrians, I guess. Or Kyrians. Welcome on in. Sorry if I butchered your name. Syrians. Where is it from? How pronunciation wise? It sounds Slav, like Nordic Slav, but it could be from anywhere, so I have absolutely no clue. I mean, it could be from anywhere. I'm saying anywhere, I don't know. And Scott, this is a pretty cool homepage as a starter. I have no clue whose that is, but I trust you on that. Just trying to catch up on chat. I'm so slow today. Brain doesn't work. What do you mean by it goes reverse? I've never seen that. That's interesting. I am a subscription-based model, but I'm a free subscription-based model. My subscription fees are your follows. So if you're here, you enjoy the stream, click the follow button. Interesting. I guess I would need to read that more in depth rather than just glancing over and reading just the titles, because I'm currently extremely lazy. See, this is what I call white space. So how did you start in UX? That's a very, very good question. And Scott, I think that's on you. You type too fast for your keyboard. I guess, like it's just your fingers taking over, and the brain is just arriving later. So, yeah, Australia layout indeed. So how did I start with UX? It's a very good question. Overall, so I started a long time ago, and technically speaking, I didn't have a formal education in UI or UX or art in general. So I learned on my own because I was interested by the subject without knowing that the subject was the thing that interested me. Weird thing, but I'd say I started with trying to understand things and like asking questions, being curious, trying to like look at something and I don't know, looking at whatever things like this, right? Which is the cover of my camera, and then turning it around and trying to understand how it has no metal parts, it's like just plastic, and the spring is just because of the tension of the plastic itself, and the strength of it makes it springy, even though it's not, but it is, but it's not. So that's an interesting thing, I guess. And so all of these things over the years of just being interested in like looking at things, like bringing me into creating things for like thinking about how things work, right? And so at some point I was really, really, really interested into smartphone. As at the time when we were transitioning from regular flip phones to Symbian phones, so half smart but not smart yet, but kind of smart but not exactly. I was interested in them physically, and in terms of specs. And so at some point I decided to go into a career in micromechanic to be able to like design these types of products, like tiny transistors and things like this. And then at some point in my journey of trying to know, have a good look, thank you for the 100, like having to know a bit of
Whiskey
the
Smooth cheered Dex 100. Lurk, I appreciate this stream and Discord a lot.
and thanks a lot. Like being so obsessed with everything that is the outside, I became interested in the inside of the phone, and then I discovered the world of apps and services that was available on the phones. And so I became interested and moved to town and then joined an agency with no experience other than my constant tries of understanding how things work, specifically in like UI. And then I will go back in chat and read everything, because losing a lot of chat. And so this first agency, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like this, like a long time ago now, like they let me enter and work for them, and after like the first year, I moved company, but like in the first year, because it was like a small startup, I learned mostly everything, if not everything, but mostly everything, in terms of how company works, how clients are expecting you to deliver product and projects for them. So all these things have been like learned on the job and not in school. So don't go in school; it's not worth it. If you want to learn things fast, do a boot camp. If you want to learn things at your own pace, go on YouTube or basically on Wikipedia and the internet. And or if you have like a small agency company in your town that would let you be there and do work for minimum wage, do that. Let me read chat. It's not very straightforward. Yes. I went for motion design, and so after, okay, I need to go back to the education thing a bit, but I need to read Anna message. I agree, Anna. Like, when you are in school, people who I don't know where you are from. I forgot. I think I knew. I think I forgot. The Depending on where you're from, the school, and most likely in most countries it's the same, but the school are here to mold you into effective capitalist workers that can work for the state, the country that you are in, and yes, and their goal is to make sure that the workforce that they are needing at the moment, so depending on the type of school that you go to, is the one that is replenished. So if they are looking for financial analyst, then they will push you into like something more on the finance side. If they are waiting for some marketing, they will send you to the marketing MBA and things like this, right? And so they are presenting to you the jobs that look like the most beneficial for the country. And so technically speaking, these types of jobs are the boring one, and the one that most likely you don't want to do if you are someone who is a bit creative. So I guess like, in order for you, and that changed a lot now with the newest generation and the type of thing that they do in terms of communication style and needs in terms of jobs and what's the fucking word? Nope, it's not that. Not expectation, but it's basically expectation about the workplace. Like, all of these things that have changed are more interesting now, and you discover more creative jobs, but still the best tips that I've learned from my dad was do something for 10 days. If you like it, continue. If you don't, move from it. And like 10 days sometimes was just 30 minutes. You started the thing and you were like, okay, no, I won't ever like that. And then 3 years later, you start again just to test, and you're like, okay, I lasted 3 days, but it's not for me. And then maybe 10, 20 years down the line, you're like, let me try that again, and then it's for you at this time. So you could try something now and find it not for you, and then try it again later and find it for you. But the thing that you need to do is try everything, if possible, and if not possible, try as many things as you can, financially and physically can do, in order to know what type of things are interesting to you. And Kurarabe, you said, do you have any recommended classes? I do, and I don't at the same time. So there is this community that I'm kind of part of, but not exactly, but kinda, called Memorizely, which you may be familiar with. Let me just paste that in chat. So Sekai Design is a tutor there. I believe Scott did the Memorizely thing. I'm just out of touch with that. But it's a great community. I would still say some of their boot camps are a bit pricey, but it's still very cheap compared to other boot camps. Oh, you did Career Foundry, yes. I remember you did a boot camp, but I didn't know which one it was. Do they have like a UX UI boot camp that takes like 10 weeks, which is not a lot, but it is kinda like a lot of time, and it is expensive, but it's not that expensive. But if you don't have any like help for funding, you may be, damn, the pricing is here. You may be a bit like out of your league. I don't know. Davey, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow on Saturday. Appreciate it. I know you were on all these streams. Yeah, I kind of agree with the boot camps thingy. I'm not against it, but I'm against them, and let me explain that. So this Monday is turning into a chatting Monday, which is pretty cool. I like that. Let me just read some stuff. Yeah, and I'm reading your UK graphic design thing. I guess a lot of companies in school are still thinking that design work is art and not technical stuff. And that's why I don't like schools in general, which I guess aligned a bit with what Davies Creations said of, I don't think you need to get a degree, but the quality of boot camps is pretty poor, and people leave them lacking a lot of knowledge, and on average their portfolio isn't really that standard the industry demands, which I kind of agree. I also, so what the thing that I wanted to say is, I'm against boot camps and schools in general because I don't need them, but that's a personal thing. If you are someone who are needing or feel the need of the structure around you, then boot camps and schools and online courses and all these things are a very good resource for you, because if you have the capacity of structuring everything you do for research and for learning in your head, then you don't need someone else to tell you to do something specific. I'm the absolute opposite. If you tell me to do something, specifically in school or in a boot camp or at work, it will never be done. Never. If you let me know that something could be done, it will be done in the next 12 minutes. But like at work, they know that I work that way, and in school, some of my professors knew, so they gave me the entire program ahead of time, and they said, by this time you should have been around here. Do you think? And they knew that I would be okay with that, and they were okay with me doing that, which was great. Thank you. Great teachers. Not a lot of them did that, but yeah. So in terms of if I recommend any boot camps, no. Anything you want to find or learn is available on the internet, and we talked about this website on Friday, which is called learnanything.xyz, which is this. And here you just type the thing that you want to learn. So let's say you are talking about learning UX design. You click on the thing, and then here you have, I think I zoomed out, zoomed in too much. You have like a tree of things. There are like branches in the middle that you can't really see on stream, sadly. But this Oli was kind of right with saying that it's not exactly right, but as a starter, right? As a starter, this is good enough to give you some information about where to go in order to learn about the specific topic that you're trying to learn. So this one is user experience or UX, and you have the ability to read from the tree and go from the user experience to the basic to the user-centered or the interaction design, then to the user research if you wanted to, or go directly into the help and the articles. And so by following this tree, you get to read and learn with specific things that are on this website. Doesn't mean it's the right thing for you, but it may give you everything you needed to know about the path that you need to kind of take in order to get to UX design. So that may be interesting. And then, as always, if you go into YouTube, you will find, I mean, in this one, this is the Wampum girl, by the way. In this one, because I am logged in to the wrong account. By the way, we have a third YouTube channel that popped in. That's a thing. Let me see if I can find the channel that I wanted to see or talk about. I know that they share videos on weekends usually, like Saturday something. Right there? No, I mean right there, kinda. This is a pretty good one. I will send you the link. There is one that I absolutely want. You see, there is one that is pretty cool right there. I don't know who this is, but it's a pretty cool channel. Let me see. I know that they have, I mean, there are a ton of channels that are pretty cool, but still, this one, that's the one that I wanted to see. So, this channel right here, or the loser, right? This channel right here is a UX-based person, and Oli, did you give me back my bro and it didn't work? It did work, but they disappeared already. Okay. It took a long time. I was about to say I could give them back to me, but I can't. I don't have a button. Let me just read something. Sorry, it's just so slow on chat today. So yeah, bootcamps are expensive, and YouTube is free, and most YouTube channels have things that are, or channels that are pretty cool. So this one, VA Experience, is interesting because they talk about UX designer, how to create a portfolio for UX designers, how to prepare for questions in UX design interviews and all that things. So I'm guessing specifically on my views, it's a pretty cool channel, but as always, video format has a lot of biases inside of them. I mean, I am one of the most biased person when it comes to the content that I'm like consume, because if the sound quality is not to my level of or likeness, I'd say, I will probably not continue to watch a video if if the thing that you're saying in the beginning is like something that I hate to hear in the beginning of a video, I will probably skip your thing. That's specifically for TikTok, but I wanted to do a list of my will scroll immediately on TikTok and other platforms, but yeah, it's the same thing. So anything that you watch with sound and video, you need to be very aligned with the person that you're watching. So if you're watching me for the first time, you may enjoy my face, my layout, my voice, and that's fine. Or you could enjoy the voice but not the face, and so you're watching the stream with no video, which is okay. Or the opposite, you like the face but not the voice, makes sense. Or none of the above, you didn't like my voice or my face or the overlay or anything, and you are already moved on from the stream, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because you are on a video format. So I don't know, that video is a bit difficult. The one that I'm recommending to you are the one that I kind of like, and you are 100% able, or at least I'm trusting you to be able to do that, and look for channels that do the same thing, but with someone that resonates more with you a bit. So yeah. And kitty ants. Kitty ant or kitty ants. Can a UX designer be oriented to UI? Yes. Yes. And if you are a UX designer and you want to move to UI, you will be an amazing UI designer. If you are a UI designer and you want to move to UX, you will have flows a lot. But you can be a good UX designer. And if you are a UI designer who doesn't understand the UX, you will be a bad UI designer. And if you are a UX designer who doesn't really understand the UI side, you can be a great UX designer. So the diagram, you know, the circle diagram thingy is a bit a bit skewed on one side, but it works. Yeah, what the fuck was I about to say? And Scott, I didn't know you were in finance before. You got this. Welcome on in. The help of subathon. That is a good question. What type of thing do you want to do? I might. It depends. What type of thing do you want? You want something that I guess will like increase a timer depending on subs, bits, all that things, right? That may be your base. Is that a thing that I know? I might not. I might not be the right person. Yeah. I'm not someone who plays with timers. The timers are fucking annoying. I would say specifically, not specifically, but similarly to my fuck counter, you may find StreamerBot to be useful in terms of the thing that you can do for counters. So getting the ability to like count events, but other than that, I don't really know. I know that you may have some already made things in Stream Elements, I guess. Stream Elements might have things. But yeah, now, other than that, because I didn't do Subathon yet, and I don't think I will ever, I'm too tired to do like a 2 hour and 30 minute stream, so like doing like the 24-hour stream, I would be dead in like 2 minutes. Things like this. That's a new sticker. RX code will come on in. That's a nice placement for my hand. How are you? I mean, yeah, no, Stream Elements is a bit difficult. Maybe in I don't think there is like a website that can give you There might be on Streamloots. I don't know if that's a good idea though. That's I mean that could be an option. That could be an option for you if you wanted to. Yeah. A big move? You found one? RxCode, do you mean the rotational thing that I did and I shared on Discord? I discarded it. I think I got rid of it. I did. I got rid of it on this slate. If that's the one that you are. I seen the marathon one here, right? Because of the thing, but yeah, Streamloots looks really interesting. I've been eyeing them for a long time. I'm not exact. I mean, I like the overall design. That's one of the reasons why I have been eyeing them for a long time, because like the overall design that they have is clean and good enough. The thing that I don't like is, I guess they have like some types of not free things, and I don't know. I don't know if I would do that, but I mean, as they say, the marathon thingy potentially is exactly what you need. So but yeah, I don't think I would be able to help more than that. You want a burger now? I thought you were a pizza person. The thing that I shared here. Is that the one that you're talking about, RxCode? And also, Kurara, I saw your question earlier. Because this is pretty cool overall. This was, so the center thing is my camera. Basically, I just used the section of the camera that is located here, and I wanted to add like this option for you as a viewer to potentially like trigger a resizing of any camera that I'm using with this rotational gauge thingy. But it didn't exactly, I mean, it did work, but then my entire stream sounds kind of crashed like 2 days after I installed this one. So yeah. was the one when the scene changed, but the camera size just stayed the same. You mean like when I'm going from here to here, for example? Or is it something even different? Like even the camera is staying at the exact same place, like from here to here? Is that the thing that you're talking about? Could be, though. Could be. And so, Kurara, when, or specifically what got you started streaming? That's also a good question. You all have amazingly good question today. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. I need to go back into the Discord. Yes. What made me go into streaming? So the selfish reason why I wanted to stream in the first place, and it's still the case, is I'm a lazy ass motherfucker who just wants to not create a portfolio, because as a designer, when you are starting to work on portfolio things, you understand very fast that portfolio are fucking annoying, and you don't want to work with them ever because it's fucking annoying. So thank you for that, Mind Explosion. I will do that in a second. So my reasoning behind, and welcome on it. My reasoning behind streaming is this is my best portfolio, and like portfolio are a waste of time for designers and a waste of time for a lot of hiring managers, because the reasoning behind this is a portfolio is fixed in time for the things that you are presenting inside of them, and you are only able to display things that are finished and like done. And most of them, if you are like me and have worked on like NDA things, at the moment when your NDA is finished, the thing that you can see or show is most likely 2 years old or 3 years old, and the tech have evolved, the design style have evolved, and you have evolved, and so the thing that you are able to showcase is outdated. So there is a special someone that we shared on the Discord a long time ago, who has a portfolio who at the bottom in the footer is just saying this portfolio is already outdated, and it's absolutely true. So that's my take on portfolio. Let's do the fucking pull-ups. You said close grip. You're the first one to say close grip. You can't see much when I go that high. So, only yes, a portfolio in most cases. The portfolio is mostly a waste of time if it's not live. So, stream froze. You want to see them again, right? That's what you're saying. That's untrue. That is untrue.
You know, like when oh my god, I sound so bad. You know when you like, but like, you know, like when you like, when you like, I can't stop saying like, for every like, I'm gonna like gift a sub. No, I'm not gonna do that, but like, so like,
we did a like counter at some point, and Wasn't good. I think we reached 200 like in like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And so if I had to like gift 5 sub every like, we would have too many. Scott is just wasting points rather than making me do pull-ups. He wants to turn me into potato. Makes sense. I appreciate that. So, going back to the question of portfolio and why I started to stream. That's the reason. I wanted to have like a live version of my work in order to be able to showcase myself and my skills to anyone who would be interested in hiring me potentially, or just working with me as a different thing, right? And so having a live version for me is like kind of the best thing, because for example, the thing the thing that I share and give for free in my Figma profile, so all my UI kits and all that things that are like free things, are already outdated by technology, by style, and by my knowledge, even though they have been made in the past 2 years, let's say 2 years, right, globally. Most of them have been made in the past year or so, but in the past 2 years I've done a ton of them. And like right now, what we need to do, we'll open like on Thursday, we need to go back into all of these things that are available on that profile and edit them to make sure that they are up to date with the latest version of Figma. The clean slate project that we should be working on today, but apparently we are asking a question, which I appreciate. This one, as soon as OBS decide to do an update, I need to update the file to make sure that it's compatible with the latest version, even though it will probably be, but I just need to make sure that that's the case. The Gumroad things, which contain the clean slate one, the Gumroad UI kit, same thing. We are currently, not exactly, should be, maybe, Thursday. Need to do a lot of shit on Thursday. Need to be cleaned up specifically for the input fields to make sure that they are up to date. So that's a long rant or on anything, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to stream. I wanted to have a live version always up to date. If you come in, up to date kinda. If you come in on Monday and I make a breakthrough discovery while I'm taking a shit after stream, well, maybe on Tuesday I have a different mind views. It can happen, but unlikely, right? Rather than if I'm working on a project that I can put on my portfolio 2 years later, in the 2 years that passed, I've learned so much stuff that I don't feel like it represents my skills anymore. So most of the things that I have in my official deck today are, I can show you, by the way. It's available. It's somewhere. Is it here? Maybe here. I don't think it is. I think it's called deck. Shit. I call that resume. Oh yeah, no, that's not a good thing. That's the thing. So yeah, that's not the right one. in my in the deck that I'm showcasing with brands when they want to hire me or want to see things, I'm just sending them these, which have like an extra crispy, when I'm saying crispy, it's like extremely pixelated preview of a project. And what I did in like bullet points, because I'm a lazy ass, and the availability of the project itself with a link that send you to the official thing, website, app, whatever. So this one is sending you to my Figma profile, this one is sending you to the App Store, this one is sending you to nothing because you don't have access to this. This one is sending you to my current company, and then this one is sending you to nothing because the project died. But I still liked what I did, so I just add a showcase here. That's all. So all of these, like this project that I did a fucking long time ago, died in 2019. We are in 2022, so it's been dead for like 3 years, but I'm still showcasing it. So it's still outdated when you are as a hiring manager. It's still fucking outdated. So it shouldn't even be presented. It's just like, it's the thing that I can show you. So I will show you things. This one is an internal product that can only be used by employees of this company. You can't even see that. You would never see in-depth things. So I don't like, there is a lot of things that goes into portfolios and decks that I'm like, ugh, makes no sense. So yeah, that's why I'm saying it's a waste of time, Ollie. And someone who could be interested in hiring me because they've been in one of my stream or they watch one of the VODs, and they see the energy, the way that I'm working, the way that I'm cursing a lot, the way that I'm helping, telling some people to go fuck off. All those things are basically me. And so if you've seen one of my stream, you know what to expect if you hire me for some reason. I don't know why anyone would hire me, but if someone wants to hire me, they have like a very good preview of me that you can't understand through like a PDF of my portfolio. Like my skills on paper, I can bullshit you as much as I want. I am a designer, that's my goal. Like I'm here to bullshit you into understanding things that you haven't understood before and using words that makes more sense to you. But in reality it's the same shit. So that's, yeah, I don't like portfolio. So that's why I started like streaming. It is okay. I don't like it, but it's okay. Because no one will check if you have like really worked with something, or if this company really exists or existed. Like I could have, I don't know if you're seeing this, I know there is an ad running at the same time. I could have highly bullshitted on this thing, even though I kind of didn't wrote anything, but the product died in 2019. That's pretty cool, right? That means you as an employer have no option to check if I really did this work. So yes. So in my thing, damn it, I don't know if I can show you that yet. Yeah, I don't. I can't. I have too many messages here and here and there. Let's see. What you mean? What you mean? Damn it. Well, no choice then. Here on my LinkedIn, in the overall thing, I've been working at my own company for 7 years. A company that I started in 2015. So it is on my resume, right? Doc, welcome on in. I have added some self-taught education that I didn't have before, and I think it's a benefit, right? So I have like added a ton of shit specifically for like employers to be I'm 28. I am 28. And so yeah, I've been like working not 25. KDJ, hi.
KDJ_motion just resubscribed for 7 months. Hey.
The message didn't go through. Welcome on in. Dark, we don't have an age command. We might need one. But I'm 28. KGG, welcome back. Thanks a lot for the 7 months. I appreciate that. How are you? How was your weekend? All of that. Don't have the cap one either. So yeah, so I added a ton of things on my like LinkedIn to make it look better, even though it doesn't, but it make it look better. I added like a ton of experience, like more experience, and things that are related to the design stuff that I did a long time ago for other companies that are not. Go back to Joni and Amber then. Before I was able to be like employee in things, I used to work for my dad, his non-profit organization, some of his friends' organizations, companies, creating logos, websites, things like this, that on paper didn't count because, well, I wasn't employed or paid. But technically speaking, I gained a lot of experience by just learning what to do or creating things for them at that time. So that's why I added the thing inside of LinkedIn. So yeah, you can add things that are not exactly false, but not entirely true on LinkedIn. I appreciate you lurking. Anyways, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That I'm sure I'm like missing some messages again. But yeah, there has been question earlier before, not before, but in between the line, I've seen things. Alex good, yes. I need to go back to the thing that I needed to. Where did we say something? Oh, I guess. I don't know. That's the thing. I have no clue. I remember an experiment, and then I mean, we talked a lot when you took the zip, but can't remember. I can't find the last message where I would be saying something. When you switch from starting soon, so I need to open that. We are working on Slate at the moment. That's good. So you opened Slate 0, right? You were on Slate 0, which means you should have done not that, but I did it anyway. Wait, start. It did start. So what you're saying is, when you're on starting, you have the camera that is this size, and then when you go to main stage, it change sizes. That's what you're talking about. I guess yes. So let's say you wanted to have in the starting scene, you wanted to have your camera, even though you can't see shit because I didn't zoom in. Maybe I should have. I know I don't have any battery on that. Zoom in a bit. Sorry. So if you select your camera right here, and then in your scene, you resize it right there, for example, I don't know, and then let's unzoom a bit, you can see everything. If I move to main scene, it will resize itself in between, right? So technically speaking, if you wanted to have different sizes of elements across your slate, like potentially here you are saying, well, the camera here needs to be a bit bigger, you could, right? That's an option. You can just resize the thing. However, if for some reason here the camera is too wide and you wanted it to be a bit less wide, you need to go into the crop filter. And so let's say that this is not the sizes that you want. So let me zoom in a bit. So in these types of crop filters, you have different things. Specifically in this slate, you have the main, which is the full screen chatting, starting, ending, BRB screen. You have the working, which is the one that is used here, the tiniest one that you can't really see, but it's on the side. Should move here. Yes, this one. And then you have none, which is just going back to the default sizes, but that's not what we want. Right now, we want to work on the working one, because the working one is the one that we want to edit to have like a bit of more crop right there. So what's happening is we have 400 and 400 on both sides, and we have a bit of crop at the bottom. Let's say we wanted to have our camera to be here. Basically what I have when I'm on the max scene, right? I would need to change the crop values on both sides. So let's say here I want to take off 200 on both sides. So let's scroll to 600 here and scroll to 600 here. As you can see, nothing happened on the top until I click the eye, and now it's cropped in a bit. And as you can see on the preview right here, it changed. I'm misaligned because that's not exactly what I needed to do. But let's say that's the placement. So now unzoom, because if I'm zoomed in, I can't understand shit. Now let's say I want to move the camera, so I just use my arrow to place it, or if you want it, you can do like a Control E and then move it with pixels. Sometimes it's a bit easier. And so now that I have this that is done, you check, yes, you have everything. If I go from here to here, you can see how it's like resized and placed at the bottom in the right placement and everything. If I go to the right side, however, it's misaligned because we changed the crop, right? So it needs, on my camera on this one, it needs to move a bit to somewhere around here, I guess. So now we have this placement and this placement. Makes sense, and our BRB scene is available, ending scene is available, right? So far so good. So let's Command Z this one, Command Z this one, and then go back into our camera, filters, the working one, go back to 400. And now it's wider. And we should be good. And we have a similar-ish ratio. And that should work. So, one of the things that you can't do, sadly, with this filters thingy is pressing the Alt key and then resize your camera. Because if you do that, you lose the radius on the corners, which is not what we want to have. So we want to keep the corner radius, even though here they're not really visible. But yeah, I guess that helps a bit. Not exactly, but a bit. And Igor did, she said I should buy a new camera to do that because right now my camera is low resolution, so I don't want to bring my camera bigger on my face. That makes sense, but also, have you considered lighting? Because your camera, depending on the one you have, of course, most likely you have like a webcam type of things. It's good enough, it's just not lit enough. And so if you have the ability to lit it properly, you can avoid having this, because even though it looks okay, of course, because that's the type of camera I have, but it's not good, right? So if you lit your subject, you would be better, I guess. And then yeah, there is a ton of people who are streaming with like a C920, a Logitech C920, which is like $80 on Amazon, I think, or maybe $50 on eBay if you find it. And they are fine. Like, I don't want to say XQC is streaming with a shit camera, but it depends on the day. Sometimes yes. I have beef with a lot of big streamers overlays, because I think with the amount of time they spend streaming, I want them to have like good overlays, and most of them don't. Like the only big streamers that have good overlays, so big streamers is have a good food time, like wide range of interpretation. But in my views, big streamers, the one that have an okay overlay and stream feel, design and everything, are usually women, because they kind of pay attention to details, which I don't like to say as a generalization, but it is basically the case. Girls stream have like a lot more details and tiny things here and there, even not just art streamers, but right, more colors, yes. And so, I mean, we can't, I don't like to do that, but we could. There are things that makes no sense to me. there are streamers like Nerdy, who is one of the best that I have, right? Who I learned everything from. Everything that you see on stream here is learned from Nerdy, so his stream is very clean. When you look at other people like Celesi, who is an on-the-road streamer, which I think is pretty cool. She's living in a van, and she streams from her van. And her stream, as you can see, her stream overlay, can't watch streams too long, but a stream overlay is extremely simple. You have camera and then screen capture, and then there are some things, basically the DeviantArt Association logo with one of their illustration, a goal, and then some information on the top. The thing that makes it interesting on the camera side is the backgrounds, right? I don't think my background is good enough. I mean, it's okay, but that's my bed and my shelf. Not that good. So that's why when we are going into working mode, I'm like concentrating onto that's me. And I've seen a lot of people, specifically bigger streamers, like for example Ninja, who is doing like night streams, amazing. Day stream, I have a lot of issues with it, but that's a me thing. His overlay here on this scene, right, exactly here, is camera. There is nothing more. So the difference that I have here is I have a bit more context on what's happening on stream, which for him I don't think he needs any additional thing on what the fuck is happening on stream, right? That makes no sense. But his stream overlay here is extremely clean. You just have a camera, and I don't know if he moved into a game. He didn't. I wish he could. Just move into a game. Please move into a fucking game. But like in a game, he has a bit of a weird thing with his camera that I don't like. But so Kira is pretty. I mean, the rework has been pretty good. I think, coming from me, the camera needs to have a bit more spacing on the right side. That's something that is like one of my pet peeves. Pixelese, hi, welcome on in. You can see how this button thingy that is the overlay has a bit of space next to the chat. And I think the camera here needs to be the same thing. How are you, Lise? How was your weekend? How is everything? So she needs like a bit of space. You can see on my side here, I'm not like tucked in. I have a bit of space. If I go here, I have a bit of space. It create a bit of breathing room around. Like before she was on the left, she's on the left on some other scenes, if I remember correctly. Like she moves on the other side. I guess we may have access to a VOD where I was in at some point. I still love this. Like this starting soon scene is pretty great. I like it because it's very much the thing that I know since the beginning that I've been watching her, and like now we just have some more metrics and things that are aligned with the rest of the design, which makes a lot of sense. But I will, for any new streamers, as always, you're starting soon, is, first of all, not needed, and second of all, most people who arrive on the starting soon that doesn't have information of this is a live thing, that people will leave. Like if the stream is not started yet and they see like 0 people watching and they come in and it's just this, even a timer people leave because they don't see that there is things happening. That's why I have like my camera in blurred version, because while I'm doing the thing, I'm still in front of my fucking computer, as I said in the bottom, spamming the Discord, making sure that the social medias and stuff are on point and all of that, right? So that's the main, it's the base. So here, this is pretty cool. The metrics and alerts at the top, this is great. There have been like a very good job in that thing. And then the chatting scene is great. Chatting scene is great. The Spotify thingy at the bottom, GG. It's simple to make, but GG. I never, no, RX Code, I never showed that. And then she has this scene, which is just the presentation screen, where you can see that her camera has a bit of room around it, specifically at the bottom. She's not tucked with the floor, and she's not tucked with the capture, right? So this section is not tucked into the left of the screen, and the camera neither. So that's a good thing. What I would say is the transition is not something that I like, but that's a me thing, right? More room around things makes more sense, right? So this, I guess, transition. This is called a stinger, and the reason why people and streamers have these types of transition is in between scene 1 and scene 2, your elements have different mask, effects, PNG that need to be loaded, things like this, right? They are already loaded, of course, but instead of the thing that I'm doing, right, having the elements resize themselves and stretch and move and like be interactive from scene A to scene B, if this was a static thing with a mask, I wouldn't be able to do these types of transition. I would need to have like a stinger in the middle who would give me the transition basically. So I don't like stingers because I prefer to have the ability to move around and do things that like move around. Makes more sense to me. But other than that, that's great. So the placement is good on this side. However, on this side, the placement of Eminent, hi. The placement of the bubbles is not more room on the left and more room on the right, please. So you can see that this, I don't know if I like stopped it while there was another message coming in, but if there is this amount of space,
we will not forgive you. The foot combers will not forgive you.
Foot combers, really angry hedgehog. Welcome on in. How are you? I hope your weekend was good. And Kane, welcome on in as well. By the way, if you didn't know, the bad AOA bad comes from Kira. Happens in her stream. I asked her if she was okay with me using that sound as an alert. It's one of the most used alert on on this stream. And also really angry at John, jelly wobbling. Thank you. So yeah, on the chat thingy, having a bit more space in both sides could be nice, because this is too close. This is too close. But the rest of the scenes is great, and then the in-game, she's moving around.
Piece of candy. Ooh, a 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 piece of candy.
I know where that's from. Piece of candy. Yeah. You are loaded today. But yeah, she's moving her camera around a lot, and like here it's good. She has space on the right. She has space at the bottom, and that's a well placed camera. So yeah, overall, like what she's used to move it on the other side, and not enough space, but yeah. I mean, it makes sense, specifically on Jackbox. You have like there's so many things happening on any sides, so yeah. But this makes a lot of sense. What I would say is, let me not zoom in when she's doing like a face. I mean, we can have it work. Here, you can see that her camera is kind of aligned with the chat here, but not here. If she just resized it to have the same amount, like kind of aligned with the chat, that would be amazing. In terms of spacing, like she would be enough on it, and like have like something like 8 to 16 pixel of padding right there. That would be perfect. But yeah, no, Kira is good. Kira has like a lot of things that, of course, I like the rounded corner for the camera. There are still things that I think, as a streamer, when you are in game, and that's a bit of a different thing for Kira specifically, because she is she became along the years, kind of like I'm becoming a bit more of a just chatting person. She's, I mean, not less gaming streams, but she still have like a lot of chatting bits in the thing that she's doing. So the fact that her overall like layouts have a bit of an emphasis on her makes a lot of sense. But I would still, because she's playing games, I would still have the camera be cropped to a shoulder wide crop potentially, so focusing on the person rather than the background. So everything that is here, even though there is the lights and things, right, that makes sense. We want the cloud with the nano leaf. That makes a lot of sense. People don't need to see that. And if you know that you are very static ish, static X, no, that's RIP. It's like a stable person who doesn't move a lot, like crop to where you are. Like, I mean, biased as fuck, of course, but my camera is here, and I cropped in to where I'm standing most of the time. It's not exactly true. Sometimes I'm like looking at the Mac and I'm here, and so you have like half my face because I'm focused on the fucking monitor, and I should be here, right? Even focused, but like there is like 5 centimeters difference. Fuck with my head. So this is the thing. If I go onto the PC, I have a crop that goes upper in the body section. So instead of having the mic visible, it's not visible, and so I'm extremely focused on the face portion of the thing, but it's not exactly right. Right, you can see that now we are under the mic, which is the bottom of the camera itself. So yeah, so this is one of my pet peeve with streamers, specifically bigger streamers. Kira is okay-ish in terms of crop. She's not exactly good to the crop, but there is like crop happening. But I would have cropped a bit more, maybe 200 on both sides, to just be centered, more centered, and less background, more person, which makes a lot of sense to me. And then if she still wanted it to be that wide, she could, with a more cropped in, have a bigger camera if possible. One of the person who is not live right now, who is constantly constantly making sure that his camera is placed correctly, is this guy's Toast. And going back to the bigger streamers, these specific streamers have in my views, the shittiest overlays, because most of them have no overlay at all. They are just a camera, a capture, and nothing else. And there is no real like animation. I think Toast doesn't. Oh, he changes alerts lately. Yeah, he has this thing at the top. I go back. He have alerts. Yeah. Your cam should be placed on your face. And then it should be placed where it doesn't obstruct the game or the content that you are trying to share. The main thing that I don't like with this new overlay that we have is because I went back to an 1920 by 1080 stream rather than my previous one, which was a 2160 by 1080. So going from a 2:1 aspect ratio to now 16 by 9, the usual streaming ratio, when I'm here, and specifically when I'm here on Figma, you are losing, like right now, there is a ton of layers right here that you can't even see their name and what they contain, because the camera is right on top of it. And that's what I don't like about this specific thing. But on the regular basis, when I'm here, I'm not cropping anything really. When we are doing some types of website review, most websites are centered and we have a ton of space on both sides, so I'm not covering a lot. And like all of these things, right, makes a lot of sense. Here, I'm covering the servers in which I am, but I'm not exactly covering my channels' names, titles. So that's one thing. If I go into the PC, I know most people don't have this issue. I talked about it before, but like the PC is the same thing. Most of my content that I'm showcasing on the PC is placed on this section, which is basically Chrome, which currently is a bit glitchy, interesting. So yeah, so that's the thing that I'm capturing, but then I still have most of the other thing that can go on top of Chrome, and then because this screen specific is a 34-inch ultra wide, so it's like fucking up my entire stream overlay, which fuck off. But but yeah, so I'm not covering a lot of things on the PC, and the placement of your camera, I could have gone on the other side, right? I could have kept my camera here when I'm on the PC, but Kane, you heard me say that I guess a dozen times already. If I'm here looking at the PC and the camera is placed like this, I'm looking away, and so I'm not looking at the content, right? That makes no sense. Rather than having the PC here and me looking directly to the PC physically, and then going to the Mac and physically looking at the content in my room, but also on stream, like directionally, makes more sense. So the more you know where you place your camera, where it doesn't obstruct the games or the content that you want to share, and anyway, it makes more sense physically. Some of the streamers that I have in mind have like some issues in
This had better be
placing
pretty
themselves.
freaking important. Is the meadow on fire?
No, Charlie. We found a map to Candy Mountain. Candy
Again?
Mountain, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie.
You want candy today, Mr. Hedgehog? Maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's what you need. But then you also have these types of streamers, which I've been sub for a long ass time. Which, I mean, I don't know if it's a me thing or a them thing. There is no camera, and there hasn't been camera on their stream in a long ass time. So that's a thing. If you're like if you're good at the game and your voice isn't off, that's an option. And I mean, they are doing amazing. So you have some alerts from time to time. I think Cody used to have no things, but now we have some. Lulu, which is one of my reference in terms of overlay, and I go back to girls with overlays. Like, this is fucking amazing. No kids allowed. Thank you. So when you look at like her overall overlay in terms of stream, we have her face, which takes, in my views, is a bit wide. Like, the camera is a bit wide. Same thing as Kira earlier. Like, we should be able, she doesn't move a lot. We should be able to crop here and here. But I get that she wants to showcase her entire wall, right? That makes a lot of sense. However, she's placed on the left side of the screen, and she's looking directly into the left side of the screen. So she's absolutely not looking at the game from our perspective as viewers. So, you think I'm a snowman? I mean, the nano leaf, we don't really need the nano leaf, but yeah, we could always, that's also a thing, you can always flip your camera and have like a flipped image. That's that works, if I remember correctly. No, I can't do that. It's not here. It's here. Where is it? Here. That's an option. You can flip your camera if you move sides, right? If you wanted to. But that makes no sense to me. Specifically, or to her, because you have her name here, you have Apex here, you have things that are written on the walls that needs to be visible and read. So, right, camera could be a bit placed differently, but I understand why she's on this side as well, so specifically in this game. But then the overlay on its own, this alert thingy, very subtle, very clean, colorful, and all that. That's great. There is a bit of a misalignment here. That's an issue that we don't care about. If you go into other things of her overlay, which I love, her starting screen, right? Tanya, hi. Tanya, it's late, or it's early. How are you? How you doing? You're not sleeping? You're not sleeping yet? So, Lulu, as her starting screen, right? You have this amazing starting soon screen. These, working late, that's no good. These screens for these types of streamers make sense. But for us, at our level, like, I think my maximum viewers that I had at the same time without a raid was 32. I think that was my max. Maybe there was a raid in the beginning of the stream though. Let's say 20. Right. She hasn't started the stream. She probably already have somewhere around 2k people waiting. That's what's happening. So creating the hype and making sure that people are coming in the stream and making like them chat a bit and like her having the ability to like preface things, that makes a lot of sense. But for us, these types of timer, no good. But when you look at this, 3D things, rotation, a bit of a timer, gradients, like colorful, it's a light theme. And then starting of the chatting version, so you have full camera and then chat on top. This is the regular Stream Element or Stream Labs OBS chat widget. Nothing crazy here. And then she moves into game and she's like here. So far so good. I guess on my views she should swap her sponsors from this side to this side, but just because she doesn't look at the game for real.
But I poop from there.
Yes. So that's the thing. And then she has just this scene because she doesn't really play other games that much. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like bigger streamers at some point don't have a lot of different scenes or a lot of different overlays or things, and most of the time girls have the better looking thing, even though I'm thinking Leah doesn't. If I remember correctly. Oh, she changed. Good. She changed, but see, that's the same thing. You see the amount of space that is covered of the game with this camera overlay thingy. Like, we are losing, like, it's still the 16:9 aspect ratio. She should or could or may be able to like crop the mic sides, because it seems that she's heavily like leaning on this side of the screen most of the time. So like from time to time she would be cropped here, and then if she's center, if that's her center, then focus on that section. I mean, that's what I would say, in order to cover less screen real estate or game real estate. But yeah, then you have like LC Gamer, which has a very easy overlay, right? Like, it's the first time I'm seeing it with a tuxedo. That's interesting. And this background, so here the background makes a lot of sense, right? That's a piece of decoration that they probably have never like used. It's just visual. But it's the fucking camera in 16:9, a video in the background, and then some stuff at the top, right? And so the overlay in itself doesn't match with like what I kind of like. But then he has like a lot of things when he moves into like different scenes. Is that when he moved, because now he changed a lot of shit in his overlay, like these ones. Like here, you have like a bit of a cropped version, and even though he still keeps the aspect ratio of the camera, it's on top of the chat, which is a specific width, which works specifically with that aspect ratio right here. And even though the chat on his stream are just crazy fast, like it makes sense. There are changes in overlay layouts, and as I said, they are extremely simple changes and nothing really groundbreaking. So even though they are big, they don't need fancy overlays. For anyone who's starting, you don't need fancy overlay. That's what I wanted to say. But then if you have the ability to do fancier overlay than nothing, do something that makes sense. That's what I wanted to say. You got this. You said circle filter on cam helps. Yes, a bit. But when I moved here to this specific one, I made sure that I had to have like a bit of a crop at the bottom as well, to center a bit more on the face. How, like, otherwise I would have had this amount of space, which would have meant that my chin would have been at the center of the rounded frame. Right now it's close to center, but my mouse is at center, most likely. So, like, it's a bit of a placement thing. I'm still thinking about potentially getting rid of more shirt area a bit and zoom in more on the face, because I'm moving a bit more because the screen further away. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, it could be interesting to just stay here, and that would do your job. So yeah, that's what I would say. That was a long ass explanation for just one thing. And yes, Healthy Gamer is great. I've seen that you used the oval thing. Did you use a mask? Not oval, sorry. This. Did you use a mask for this? I would love to. I would love to, Ollie, if you don't mind me getting on it. You can go into the. Did I remove to the chatting scene? Fuck. You can go into the design help if you wanted to, or Tanya, I see you just saw my message today. That's why you're in here. I see. But yeah, if you go into and Tanya, feel free to ask your question as well. In here. Oli, are you telling me? Are you telling me that you are on the side, right there, looking at not the screen? What did I just say? What did I just say? Go on the other side. Go on the other side. I like the bottom thing though. I love the bottom thing. Yeah, I love that. That's a great looking thing. So you have the title of your stream. I would make it a bit bigger, mainly for mobile users, thinking about them from time to time. You can just flip your camera if you don't have anything text related on camera. Flip your camera when you are working. So yeah, thinking about the mobile users right there could be interesting. And then if you think about it, when you're on Figma and you want to showcase thing, I know it's fucking annoying, and it's a bit counterproductive when you're working on things. But do a Command Option Shift equal or plus to zoom in your interface in order to let the viewer see more of the detail of where they are or you are clicking. That is most likely related to if you want to help the people that are looking or watching your stream. So if you are ready to answer a question about design and stuff and you want to showcase how to do things, do not hesitate to like zoom a bit on your interface. Otherwise, it's a bit tiny. And I would say the same thing about the camera. It could go over, sadly, go over your screen a bit. But yeah, it's a bit tiny right here. I used to have, but I like it though. I've seen you posted another one. That's bigger, indeed. That's bigger. So yeah, so if you will, like, if you are going to make it big like this, which is close to what I have right now, make sure that it's not covering things that are important. Like, I decided to go on this side because the layer size, the layer are not exactly the thing that you want to showcase, unless you want to showcase like icons. But specifically when I want to showcase icons in here, I'm just like doing the lazy thing of taking a screenshot and just dropping it here and then zooming in. That's usually what I do. So so this icon right here. But that's a very me thing, right? That's me trying to help other designers and all that shit. So makes sense to me. But overall, I like that. I really love the things like all the dock that I also have, and overall the camera is pretty cool. You are centered, your face is centered, which is good. If you think that you won't move, maybe shrink this thing a bit for it to be less wide. What are you using? That's my question to you. What are you using to make it that shape? Are you using the same thing as me that gives you the ability to like move around, or is it like a mask? If it's a mask, it's pretty simple to fix. But if it's not a mask, what is it? Okay, so you're using a mask. Okay, good. So keep the space then. Why not round? Why not round? I mean, I like peel shapes, of course. But... And Tanya, I've seen your message. I need to read everything in one go. And the topographic background, also great idea. So I like that. I really like the dock that you created. I would have done squircles as well, because I feel like you have almost squircle shaped things on mine. But what's the icon? Which one? The staff on the side is a staff member of Twitch. So I guess if that's the thing that you're talking about, the personal icon. What you mean? This? Which one are you talking about? What you talking about? Which icon are you? Where? Which space? Ah, I guess. The black icon, yes, is staff. Which means personal in Spanish, yes, which means Twitch staff member, so working at Twitch. Person who works at Twitch. that's what it means. The one with the wrench, yes. This one, right there. Right. If you click on it, you have this, and staff member, you can click on that, you can see what it is. If you need to have like information about icons, you can click on them. Like this one. If you're here and you like the stream, you want to subscribe, you can. I don't want your subs. I mean, I don't want your subs. I do want your subs. I don't need them. But yeah, you can click on them. That's one of the fine things that can be done on Twitch chat specifically. But yeah, no, I like the overall design of your things. So that's pretty cool. Tanya, let me read your thing. So you said, I have a prototype question. So we can prototype component, right? But prototype glitches if it is a nested prototype. Not really, but kinda. For example, there is a side nav component, and I want the dashboard link to all link on one screen. No matter where I use the instance of the component, I can't do it if my component is on a page. Yes. Okay, so I agree. First of all, I agree. The fact that you can't link an element on a prototype to another screen is fucking annoying. Mr. Whiskey Smooth, if you are, have good luck. Mr. Whiskey Smooth, if you're still here, the thing that you can do in Sketch for prototyping throughout pages doesn't exist in Figma, and that's fucking annoying. And we are all agreeing with that. We need the cross pages prototyping options, but it's not the case. So, in order for your specifics to be linking to one, like from one sidebar on each pages to one specific thing, the way that I found to make it work inside of Figma is like so. Let me load a sidebar. It's a very tricky, not tricky, but like just cheating type of thing, which I don't really like, but it works. So if you have your navigation type of thing like this, and I'm guessing from what you're saying, like you have a sidebar, and then you have like one specific thing that goes into a specific link on said page. The way that I'm doing it is I go into my main component and I rename the one that I need to have going somewhere with the name of the page. Currently what I have is just menu item to anything, right? That's, if I don't follow my advice of zooming inside of Figma, it makes no sense. So, right, you have the menu items right here, and so I would rename that one payout, for example. And so with that done, that means if I go into whichever sidebar that uses this sidebar, I would be able to select one of them, which currently, because we changed the variants, disappear, but that's fine. And then here use Simulator, our trusty friends Simulator, and say they have the same main component, but they also have the same layer name. And when you do that, currently it will not exactly work as expected, but it will just pass the page, make sure that everything is correct, and then I should have selected from the page itself. It would have taken less time. I'm dumb. It will select all the instances that have the exact same parent components and the exact same names. So currently, turns out it worked. So it took products on each things, and so from here, what I can do, if your product page is in the same page, you go into prototype, you add an interaction, and you say on click, move to something else. And you do that without like selecting and dragging and dropping an arrow. You just do it by hand, and that's just easier, and you can see how everything is like now linked to the same page, right? Was that the thing that you were trying to do, or am I mistaken? And I absolutely didn't understand your question. Rereading it just to make sure. Side nav component, and I want the dashboard link to all link to one screen. Yeah, if it's in another page, that's the only way that you have to relink. If your mains are located in another space, there's a CTA dropdown. We click on the CTA dropdowns open. Yes, that's possible. And then all the options in the dropdown have hover state. On the of the link, it should go to another page. Yes. Yes. No, it would not work if the component is on another page. Right. Yeah, no, it's not two different issues. It's the same. It's basically the same issue. So the issue number two being on nested elements, the main thing that is fucking annoying is the fact that we have designed the screen naked, and then we add the hover states to be available for anyone to just hover over things and have the thing unfold. The way that you have in order to get drop down and sub drop down to link to a specific page in your prototype is to have everything on the same page. You can't do it anyway. You can't do it like any other way. If you want to have sub and sub and sub and sub like drop downs that links to something different, you need to have them like on the same page that could link to the same thing. The best example for this one is the Figma one, like the fix suite from Fox or Figma Atelier now, which we've seen before. Like it's a great one, but when you look at the file, right, this is the file. You can see everything, and I think I need to show this. So here, right, you can see that even though this is not finished and he's still like cleaning stuff up, these are linking to these, and these from time to time are linking to something else. So specifically when you have things like this one, like these are sent by another page, and these at the top are linking to other options inside of it. So you have multiple things and spaghettis and all these that exist and are available, and the only options you have to get this to work is that this is a heavy and light at the same time prototype. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, there is not so much things, but there are a lot anyways. But as you can see as well, most of the components that we have in here also have a lot of like like variants, interactions and all that are not linked to anything else. But by having all of these, you get a prototype that looks kind of real. Like it looks very close to being what it could be for real. So as always, this loading screen here that then load the file. That's a pretty clean thing. But as you can see, there is all of these tiny interactions that are not GIFs, not video files, just tiny micro interactions loaded inside of Vine groups. This is a project by Figma Atelier of recreating Figma and making it better in terms of UI and potential things that could happen later on in the Figma life. Doesn't mean it will happen, but yeah. And so here you have the ability to go into deep dived sub things. You can expand stuff, you can go into section, you have the ability to move into like 1.5 tons of options. You can change the viewports, you can open your profile thingy. I mean, you have this that I showcased earlier where you have like the fixed page, the community informations, like a ton of shit that they just decided to do for no reason but works. And yeah, all that shit is like kind of available. You have the ability to look for things. Like the amount of work that it's not my work. This is Figma Atelier work. It's not me. It's not me. I'm just showcasing it because I worked with Fox on this one. But that's all. Didn't do more than that. But the rest is like just amazing. Everything that he created is just like, yeah, you have all the options. I don't even know if he didn't. You have all the drop downs that are already available and ready for you to do stuff with it. I don't know. I feel like it's crazy how much work they did. Like mind-blowing amount of work, as always. Fox is amazing. That's... yes, this one is pretty detailed. There is still things that are not finished, of course. He's still working on it. He had like a call with Figma at some point, so I'm expecting to see him somewhere. But there is a ton of new potential interesting things that he's working on that I really like. And the thing that I love about that is the entirety of it is him and his brain, and that's all. And sometimes he send me a text and ask me for some like ID and fixes, but yeah, nah, most of the thing here are just amazing. Didn't see that. It's interesting how this one and this one, they have rotated things. I don't know what's up with that rotated icon, but yeah, nah, I mean, this is just crazy. The amount of complexity. You can even create a fucking file. I mean, he just added a ton of things on top of everything, but yeah. Like currently we just have the Figma file and the FigJam file, and so he's presenting and proposing Fig code to create like code file based on potentially React or something like this. Figmotion, to use the Figmotion plugin to create animation inside of Figma. Figmaze, which are UX research and user testing, so basically using Maze as an example, but right inside of Figma, so you can use like the prototype informations to create a maze-like UX case study, not UX case study, but like US research, user testing type of things, and then the import thingy that no one really used. But yeah, all of that is just, it's just great. And I don't know, I feel like the amount of detail they decided to do and create right in there, it's just crazy. But these are prototypes. My example was just for that, right? It's just to show you that if you want to have a prototype which has drop downs that leads to sub drop downs that leads to pages, they need to be on the same page. All that just for this. But yeah, that is the way. You don't really have other options right now. So that sucks. We agree. And as I said, the feature exists on Sketch. Like you can link, I mean you could, I don't know if it's still available, but last time I was using Sketch, you could link a prototype from page 1 to page 2 with no issue. Like you just had the ability to just swipe or swap from page 1 to page 2 when you select the outgoing frame or artboard. And it worked. It was good. It's still good, I guess. So I don't exactly know why Figma cannot figure it out. I guess it's because they have now specific prototype per page, but even then I don't understand. I think it should be available, but yeah, I don't know. I hope that answered your question for the nested one. And then for the first one, it's just using Simulator will help a lot to be able to select the same thing. Just rename the component that needs to be linked to a specific page. It's annoying and you need to do that by hand, but yeah, you don't really have any other option. Please don't be sorry for having question. We work on question in here. Question and pull-ups. That's what we do. Oh fuck, so many things that I need to fix. Shite. Like, see these cards? That bubble right there could potentially be now in an absolute position. That could change everything to make it easier to understand. These things right there could be in, oh they are, or now are, in a negative padding to go on top of each other. And then we could, like, reverse if we wanted to check how they look. Alright, you can easily do that now. That's pretty cool. If I am on one of the inside pages of the product, do I always need to show selected states on the side nav? If I'm on one of, kinda yes, but not necessarily, but kinda yes. You don't need to show selected, you don't need, but it's better. It's better. The reasoning behind it is very simple. It's just, if you are on a page that is linked to a parent category, right? And it looks similar to another page in another parent category, then having the right parent category highlighted give you the ability to know in which one you are. The thing that I would say is kind of better is if you have something like this, right? Like having parents and then the sub pages, and then you are into report, and then you close products, then product is still highlighted because you are inside of these. So yeah, it's better to have at least the parent highlighted on what's currently open, even if you are in a sub page. However, if you are in another page that is not related in any way to any category that are here, but you still have the nav, then that makes not a lot of sense. So an example may be the profile for a lot of things, or a lot of websites. You have these type of things at the top, and then you have the profile on the top right, and then you also have like a navigation, side navigation that is linked to something a bit different. But if you click on profile, then yes, if you keep the side navigation open, you don't need to have anything open or selected because you didn't click on that. But yeah, I can't. So you are talking in terms of prototype, or you are talking in terms of production code? Because in terms of prototype, could the confirm match be a model that just like a popover that pops on top of the previous flow? Because if it's prototype, you don't give a shit. Like, in terms of the thing that you are needing to show, you don't really give a shit. You like it should be better. It would be better if you had both options. But if it's exactly the same flow, and then you use the same screen at the end of the or if it's two different flows but you use the same series of screens at the end of both flows, I wouldn't really care. So if it's exactly the same flow from item A or item B, then in the prototype itself, don't prototype item B and just say item B is identical to item A, so it's the same thing. I know that some company will ask you to do all the options and all the things, but even though I understand that their needs of having the most complete prototype, like the one that I just showed you with the Figma potential update things, the needs of creating a prototype that complex and that capable of doing things is not a good idea. It's a waste of time. I mean, it's not a waste of time, but it's specifically if you have the same interactions and the same tiny interactions and the same flows, you don't need yeah, but and I remember you are in a company where you can't really say pay me more to the client, but that should be the case. Like, you should say that to the client. That's the thing that should be said. It should be please pay me more. That's what needs to happen. Like, at this point in time, you are requesting something that is taking a lot of time, and you should pay us more to achieve this. However, you can be happy with what we deliver, which is smaller than what you expected in terms of prototyping. However, you have all the cases that are covered with what we are giving you. So either you're dumb or you're dumb, but like, pay us or be content with what we give you. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I have these types of issues with some of my devs from time to time, so I do understand. Like, some of the devs want the hover state of a button from time to time, just to see how the things look, even though the buttons are part of the overall style guide that has been coded since 4 years ago and 3 years ago. And the buttons, if you use a button, if there is a button and they use a button, the hover state is already there. But no, some of them don't understand that and need the hover state of a button, which makes no sense to me, but ranting again. Oh, fuck. Yeah. However, one thing that I just thought about thank you. One thing that I just thought about is, if for some reason you are here, right, and you have your side navigations that needs to have these open while hovering these, for example, right? That could be the case. Or if you are here, let's say this is the case, this is a bit better. This one needs to open this while you hover it, and then you just open it as an overlay. It's not on, I mean, it's on click basically, No, this one is on click, and it's a manually placed thing. If it's another component that is on the same page, right? So if I'm just doing this, now everywhere that this thing exists, this model here will go away. So if I do click, I'm clicking outside, and then dissolve, and he's in and out, that way we're good. Where the fuck do I have this side navigation? I don't fucking know, so let's create one. If I do minimized here, and then I start there, technically speaking, let's see if I'm a dumbass or if I was right. I'm a dumbass. It needs to be on the same page. I'm a dumbass. Sometimes it happens. I don't know. It works on another product on my side, so it may be because they are on the same page, which would make sense. But yeah, that's fucking annoying. Yeah, me too. Me too. But I have the same thing on another product, and I mean they work on the page itself, but it doesn't work cross pages. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. So it's annoying. Have a good look. Have a good look. I don't know if the stream will go away longer. I'm like 3 hours is okay. I'm tired as fuck, and we may end stream soon. So yeah. But if any of you have questions, feel free to ask them before I go away. Like this. It is a short-ass stream. It was supposed to be a short-ass stream. I'm still not feeling that well, but I feel better while I'm streaming, so... yeah, that's the easiest thing. Where the fuck did that go? So it's fine. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Looking at shit. 1.5 seconds. That's the bitch that do rave when he got kills. I don't like this. Oh, we could do that. We could... I guess we'll do that. I guess. That's a clean ass thing. Alright. Let me click that button. Let me type the name. Press the button. Alright, so we're reading Pot. That's what happened. She's doing some co-working. She's in the middle of a co-working thing, so she won't be able to speak unless she wants to. And yeah, so join me for the raid, as always. That would be highly appreciated. If you are here and you enjoy the stream, please push us to 1k followers. And you enjoy, and you are 3 of you that like the stream and wants to follow. Click the follow button. It would push us to 1k. If not, that would be for tomorrow. If you're a sub, this is the raid message for subs. If you're not a sub, this is the raid message for non-subs. You can duplicate it, plaster it, create your own with the emotes, emojis, all that. As always, if you want to support the channel without paying Amazon, you can go on Gumroad, and if you are into cryptocurrency and all that shit, you can go on Foundation and buy some of my NFTs, which are fucking expensive. but appreciated nonetheless. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy Podpod stream. I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. UTC. Officially, tomorrow is Assignment Tuesday, so we'll see what we do. And yeah, if you haven't done the assignment, this is the assignment. I'm running out of time. Bye. Take care. I see you soon.